Snowflake, ticker symbol SNOW, is going to report earnings on August 21 after market close. Year to date, the stock is down almost 34%. So is it a good time for us to invest or trade Snowflake prior to the earnings? Well, we're going to answer that question on today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give us a like, share it with your friends and family, and without further ado, let's dive in. Snowflake is down 33.72% since the start of this year. In the beginning of the year, we started around 199. The stock ran up all the way to about 236. And since then, we saw this major decline all the way now to $132 or so at the time of this recording. The upcoming earnings is on 8/21 post-market. Right now, I'm recording on 8:20 during the market hours, so the numbers might change when you will see this video tomorrow. But the question is it a good time to buy Snowflake? Well, we'll answer that question, but before we do that, let's look at what the earnings was. We had a miss on the EPS by 4 cents. We had an EPS gap miss as well on 22 cents, and then we did beat the revenue by $42.79 million. Last 2 years have been very difficult for SaaS companies, especially because of the higher interest rates where large enterprise companies are withholding IT spending. In the upcoming earnings, the expectation is that the EPS gap will be 89 cents. It was 95 cents they came last time. So the expectation is a little bit lower, which is a good sign. And the revenue is about 850 million, which is slightly bit up from the last quarter. If we look at the earnings history, we can see they have beaten their revenue every single time. So we can expect a revenue beat again, but they have missed EPS 2 times and they came in line once. So seems like there are less expectations from Snowflake as opposed to some of these other companies which are in the AI space where they have higher expectation. I did a video on Nvidia yesterday, so if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. Nvidia has beaten its earnings by $2 billion. Now they are doing $1.4 billion. Crazy numbers, but not every company can do that. In this scenario, the expectations are much more tempered down, and that could present a good opportunity because if they can beat the expectation, we could see some massive swings in the price of Snowflake. Overall, from retail investors side, the analysis is mostly either sell or hold, whereas from the Wall Street side, they are in a buy. We have 20 strong buys, 9 buy, 13 hold, and 2 strong sells. Average price target is about $182.18. When Snow reports earnings, the prior earnings announcement move is about 11% and a little bit over 11.6% after earnings. Whenever we are looking to trade for the earnings, put to call ratio is very, very important. It gives you the market sentiment and direction. The current put to call ratio expiration 8/23 is 0.7 with 147% implied volatility. We have about 30,000 plus contracts on the call side and 20,000 plus contracts on the put side. Overall, looks bullish. Just a couple hours ago, I posted my thoughts and the chart on X. So in case you have not been following me on X, make sure you do follow because I do post these ideas on X as well. This is a daily chart for Snowflake. We have this long-term resistance coming down. So we are making lower highs on it since number 3 on the Snowflake. Good news is we have hit a double bottom. I'll show you in the overall chart, but this is a double bottom at the base here. We are currently around 132, 133. The first resistance will be around the 147 mark, second will be around 169, and the third will be around this trend line. You can see we have about 11%, 27%, and 41%. So there is a good opportunity that we could see a solid upside in case the earnings come out very well, and the downside to the double bottom would be around 17% or so. Now, in case you are planning to trade Snowflake, I would recommend that you take a look at these resistance that we talked about. We did have a gap down 2 earnings prior where we still have not filled that gap. So this could be an opportunity for us to fill that gap. This is a double bottom that I was talking about earlier. So we have hit this level back in last year, actually 2022 June. And then this is a nice little double bottom right at this level when we hit this low around the 8/6/2022. 2024. So about 2-year period. And if we scroll down from a long-term standpoint, you can see that we have been on this downtrend for Snowflake for a long time. This was the high around 2021, around December. So you can see this is a pretty long-term trend line. So this resistance is going to be the resistance number 3, is going to remain there for a long time. We have a lot more upside potential as opposed to a downside risk. Now, if I'm going to play, my first goal, as we talked about on the chart here, is we are resistance number 1, which is going to be about 11% upside. So in this scenario, let's say we take a look at some options contract. Now, because IV is high, the implied move is about $15-16 plus minus. So with the current stock price of 132, let's say it's a $16 downside move, we're looking at around 116, which will be about 14 delta. So playing a 15 delta will be in that range. But if you are being a little bit more bullish on the stock, you could go up to almost 35-40 delta, where you can reduce your cost basis from 129 going down by almost 562, which will take it to about 124 or so. So which trade would I aim for? I would definitely aim for the first resistance of 147. And if we see a major surprise on the upside with a lot of potential coming in, maybe they'll talk about the AI aspect within Snow. And I think if they talk about the AI aspect, we could see the breaking this first resistance level and then probably coming closer to the 200-day moving average or the second resistance, which will take us a good 27% on the upside. I am looking into a trade of around the 30 or 35 delta, which will be 126, that I will get about 4.28 on the premium. In addition, I will also be buying shares to play for that upside to fill that gap, whether this earnings or the following earnings. And I will definitely keep you posted on X. Make sure you follow me on X. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a like, click on subscribe, and ring the bell notification. I will see you next time, Investor Family, but don't forget to invest for tomorrow.